Super Bowl 49 is in the books and the Patriots walk away with the win. We'll have highlights from the big game coming up in sports.
Travelers here in the Bluegrass are being affected by the storm up north. Hear from them next.
Still tracking mainly rain across parts of central and eastern Kentucky, but overnight tonight the cold air catches up to the moisture and we'll see some snow rolling through. I'll have the very latest forecast.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
We're wrapping up a pretty wet weekend here in the Bluegrass. Good evening, I'm Kristen Kennedy. We haven't gotten much of a break from the rain today, and we probably won't tonight. We begin with meteorologist Jim Caldwell tracking the chance for some light snow overnight. Jim?
And that is the way it's looking, especially early tomorrow morning, Kristen. We could run into some light activity here. Tonight, though, at this current moment, it's mild, and we're dealing with showers. Let's check them out on Kentucky's most powerful live Doppler, and that is Defender. And there you see the main swath of rain now clearing our area here in central Kentucky, and Lexington at least, still holding on to Richmond, out in Clark County, and also into Bourbon County, but it will push on through. Now, some moisture will linger. You'll run into a few showers here or there, but the main push is on its way out. And you see embedded within that a pocket of some heavier rain from time to time. That's going to be the theme here over the next few hours. Winter weather advisory out for the folks across parts of eastern Kentucky. This is for light snow accumulations and the fact that roads could become slick tomorrow morning. And that's something they'll watch very closely. And I know a lot of kids will be watching that very closely as well to see exactly what happens. Snow on the backside of this system will eventually try to wrap around. And we've got some moisture also heading into the area as well that will kind of enhance that. Temperatures right now, 47 degrees in Lexington. How about 54 down in London? Plenty of mild air, but as we progress through the overnight, watch what happens here. We'll watch those temperatures begin to tank. Look at 3 o'clock in the morning, 33. How about at 7? Down to 22. We'll take a closer look at all of this and the moisture coming up in a few minutes.
The wintry weather is slamming the Midwest. It's affecting travel around the Commonwealth, too. At the Bluegrass Airport, several flights heading to Lexington from Chicago were canceled, and many flights to cities like Detroit and Philadelphia were delayed. We sent Jordan Valines to the airport to get the latest on the cancellations. She has our top story at 11.
Airports in Chicago and New York certainly look different from the Bluegrass Airport right now, but still here in Kentucky, travelers are being affected by the winter weather that we're seeing up north. On Super Bowl Sunday, thousands of travelers were stuck playing the waiting game at airports across the country as Old Man Winter tackled the Northeast, leaving flyers without much to do but check for updates on their scoreboard lit up with cancellations and delays.
It would be inconvenient. If it's delayed anymore, then yes, because I'm working tomorrow, so I don't want to get home too late.
Airport officials say nationwide, nearly 4,000 flights were canceled on Sunday and into Monday. Although Bluegrass Airport only had a few flight cancellations from Chicago, the number of delays piled up one after the other, leaving travelers like Stephanie Chapin stuck on the sidelines.
It was supposed to be at 6:07, so now it's like an hour. 6:55 and now 7:05, so I'm hoping not more than that.
And waiting for the clock to run out on this winter weather waiting game. A representative with the airport says if you do happen to be flying in or out of the airport tonight or tomorrow, be sure to check your flight status online before you leave. In Lexington, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
The spokesperson for Bluegrass Airport says most of their airlines are offering winter weather waivers that allow passengers to change their flight plans without having to pay the standard change fees. And parts of the Midwest are having a hard time tonight. Drivers in Nebraska abandoned cars along the highways. That same snowstorm is headed to the northeast, and it could dump up to a foot of snow in some areas. This comes after last week's storm that left many communities buried in snow. Tonight, police are asking for your help tracking down a man who went missing this afternoon. State police issued a golden alert today for 83-year-old Curtis Rose from Waco. He's been missing since 2 this afternoon and was last seen driving a red 2011 GMC Sierra pickup. Police say the truck has some damage to the quarter panels and a diamond toolbox in the bed. They describe him as 6'1", weighing 240 pounds, with brown hair, brown eyes, and he may be wearing glasses. Tonight, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office and the coroner are investigating a death. The sheriff tells us someone found a woman dead outside a home on Nest Egg Road near Jeffersonville Friday night. We're told she did not die of natural causes. The Seahawks and the Patriots and Katy Perry brought the fireworks to tonight's big game. In the end, the Patriots made the game their 4th Super Bowl win. Lee K. Howard is here with highlights.
Yeah, Super Bowl 49, and it was a good one between the Seahawks and the Patriots and Katy Perry, if you're into that. But it was a game that went all the way down to the final seconds. Tom Brady, of course, going for his 4th Super Bowl. Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks looking to go back-to-back in the second quarter. The Hawks making their move, down by 7. Russell Wilson buying time, goes downfield to former Wildcat Chris Matthews. The 44-yard reception, his first of his NFL career. Unbelievable. Great time to get the first catch. That leads to this. Marshawn Lynch takes the handoff, goes beast mode in for the touchdown. Game tied at 7. Under a minute to go in the half. Brady finds Rob Gronkowski. That's a 22-yard touchdown. The Pats go on top 14-7. Still time for Seattle. Less than 10 seconds left in the half. Wilson finds Chris Matthews with the lob pass for the 11-yard touchdown. Matthews had 109 yards in the game. Tie ball game at 14 at the end of the first half. Late in the fourth quarter, now 24-21 Seattle. Brady to Julian Edelman to give New England the lead, 28-24 with 2 minutes to go. So now Seattle with a chance to win it under 30 seconds on 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. But Russell Wilson is picked off by Malcolm Butler. 28-24. The Patriots are the Super Bowl champions. But an unbelievable game by the former Wildcat Chris Matthews. We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later in sports.
For one Southern Kentucky 8-year-old, tonight was an unforgettable Super Bowl. The Make-A-Wish Foundation granted Shannon Cox a trip to Arizona to see the Seahawks play. Doctors diagnosed Shannon with leukemia in December 2013. Since arriving in Arizona, Shannon and his family have played on the field with retired NFL players and toured the locker rooms.
It means everything to him. He is just overly excited to be here and to be able to do this stuff, to experience this, I guess. And it's every day. He counts down the days to today. That's what he's been doing.
Shannon's cancer is in remission, but he does have to undergo 3 years of preventative treatments. Some UK athletes made tonight's Super Bowl a special one for a group of nursing home residents. 3 football players visited Cambridge Place. The men signed footballs, gave out autographs, and feasted on pre-game snacks with the residents. Players say it's a great way to give back to people in the community.
It was just good seeing a smile on people's faces, you know. I feel like, you know, it's always good to give back.
Anytime we have visitors, regardless of if they're famous or not, our residents get really excited. We always love having people come in and visit.
Organizers say that is just one of the many events they plan for residents. Today was a busy day for restaurants. Many of them spent the day filling orders for the big game. The National Chicken Council reports Americans will eat 1.25 billion chicken wings this weekend. Owners of Richie's Fast Food off Georgetown Road in Lexington cook up 5,000 chicken wings on a normal night. On Super Bowl night, they make 50,000.
People in Kentucky are crazy about sports, especially UK. They are die-hard fans, so they party. It doesn't matter, win or lose, they're going to party.
The Super Bowl Sunday is considered one of the busiest restaurant days of the year. Sore in Clark County is turning into a sight for sore eyes. Flooding destroyed the Riverview Trailer Park on 8th and Boonesboro Road in Clark County. Emergency management recently bought the land and cleaned it up. Sam Smith spoke with county leaders about what they now hope to do with the property.
This is what the Riverview Trailer Park looked like back in 2012, an eyesore for anyone driving along 8th and Boonesboro Road.
I know it's a big eyesore and I drive by it every day, you know, it's just, I know it. I used to turn my head when I drive by it too.
When the Kentucky River would flood, water would flood the park, destroying property and making the homes unlivable. So they would sit abandoned. Emergency Management Director Gary Epperson says the county bought the land 2 months ago and the 18 structures were torn down.
It's all clear now, it looks great.
Now that this area is cleaned up, officials have big plans for it.
So we're hoping to make this a destination for kayakers and canoeists where they'll stop there and do primitive camping as they venture further down the river.
Because of the flood risk, no permanent structures can be built here, but that's okay. Epperson says Clark County gained a new attraction.
Instead of being one of the biggest eyesores, we're hoping it's going to be one of the nicest spots to venture and spend an afternoon on the river in Clark County.
In Clark County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
County leaders are planning on the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts taking care of the plants in the area. Today, an eastern Kentucky family said goodbye to a 9-year-old boy. Last weekend in Perry County, 9-year-old Randall Wells was in the car with his mother when a driver hit their car head on. Family members held his funeral at the place they say he loved the most, his elementary school in Leslie County. Sean Berry was there for the tearful goodbye.
9-year-old W.B. Muncie Elementary student Randall Wells died Monday following a car crash in Perry County. Sunday, friends and family got to say their final goodbyes at the place he loved the most, W.B. Muncie Elementary.
School, and you know, he drove from Perry County to go to school here, so that's how much he loved the school and loved the teachers.
All week long, teachers and students at the school shared stories, hoping to begin the healing process.
We gathered the kids from his homeroom class and a few other classes, and we sat around and talked about him. You know, we cried and we laughed. And
from what his teachers told me about him, there was always one thing you would notice about Randall whenever you were in a room with him.
He had the most beautiful smile.
His smile.
Randall lit up the room. I mean, he just came in with a good attitude and left with a good attitude every day.
On a sad day, Randall's mother, Toby Wells, was thankful for the support of an entire school and community.
It's really, really touched me. It's touched me so much. And I appreciate everything that everybody is doing.
Randall's funeral service was held in the school's gym because gym was his favorite class. In Leslie County, Sean Berry.
A fund has been set up to help the family pay for expenses. Tomorrow, friends and family will say goodbye to a Mercer County teenager killed in a crash. Police say Daniel Neal was riding with his girlfriend Thursday night when she lost control of her car and crashed in Boyle County. Neal died in that wreck. Police say his girlfriend had some injuries but survived. Families say Neal had just completed his GED and was planning to go to college. Visitation for Neal will be tomorrow night from 5 to 8 and 7 to 9 a.m. Tuesday at the Alexander and Royalty Funeral Home in Harrodsburg. And in Oldham County, family laid a U.S. Marine to rest. Hundreds of people attended today's funeral for Captain Adam Satterfield. The 25-year-old was one of 2 Marines killed in a helicopter crash last Friday during a training exercise in Southern California. Students who used to walk the halls of South Oldham High School with Captain Smith joined the community to pay their respects.
We just thought it'd be a nice gesture to come out and support a former Dragon and kind of pave the way for our football team and just show support for him and all that he did for our country.
Among the hundreds in attendance at the funeral service were servicemen and William from California and other states. Captain Satterfield was buried at the Floydsburg Cemetery with full military honors. When President Obama said he'd enjoy sitting down, talking, and having some bourbon with Senator Mitch McConnell, some Kentuckians decided to help him out with that offer. The hype started when the president talked about trying to get Republicans and Democrats in Washington to work together. The Kentucky Distillers Association and the Henry Clay Center for Statesmanship decided to send him the Bourbon Barrel of Compromise. Master distillers from several distilleries will fill the barrel at Henry Clay's Ashland Estate tomorrow morning.
I'm not an expert. I don't know if it'll do much, but hey, anything's worth a try, and we'll see where it goes.
The send-off ceremony begins at 10 tomorrow morning. There's no word whether the president will attend the Washington ceremony.